Hello and welcome to ENI UK and Europe Edition. I'm Giancarlo Matera reporting from London. We'll be bringing you news reports from the United Kingdom and Europe, and we have live reporters on standby ready to give their reports. On our program today, the UK government says July 19 is the end of the line for virus restrictions. And in Europe, there has been a rise of COVID-19 cases after 10 weeks of decline. First of our live reporters joining us this week, we are joined by Arabelle Celestino. Hello, Arabelle.
Hi, Giancarlo, and yes, today I will be reporting about France's Belgium and Italy reuniting for Diana's death.
Thank you so much, Arabelle. And also joining us, we have Maria Dowson. Hello, Maria.
Hello, Giancarlo. Today I'll be talking about Belgium easing up its COVID-19 restrictions.
Thank you so much for joining us. Also on our show today from Spain, news about storms and rain and hail hitting the country in June. This report will be brought to us by Catherine Arceo. In our health section this week, we have another episode of our Get Fit with Aron. This week, it's a 10-minute full body workout challenge. And in our sports section this week, England beat Germany in European Championships last 16. Staying with sports, also in Wimbledon 2021 update, we will also give you an update on the latest results. And we'll end today's program, as always, with our view from our window, this week coming from Greek Parliament. But first, our news headlines again. The British government is intent on lifting all of England's coronavirus restrictions on July 19. Sajid Javid said Monday that on his maiden speech to Parliament as Health Secretary, he sought to steady the government's pandemic response after his predecessor, Matt Hancock, resigned on Saturday. Hancock quit after leaked security camera footage showed him breaking the social distancing laws that he was urging the public to respect. Javid, who has previously served as Finance and Interior Minister, was notably less cautious than Hancock on removing the restrictions, after the last stage was delayed. Sajid Javid says that he sees no reason to delay the proposed date for the lifting of the COVID-19 restrictions from July 19, stating that we know we cannot simply eliminate it and we have to learn to live with it. Britain has been one of the worst affected countries in the world by the pandemic, registering some 128,000 deaths since the start of the outbreak. Tough stay-at-home measures began to be lifted in March, but Prime Minister Boris Johnson was forced to postpone a scheduled June 21 easing of all restrictions. Concern has mounted about a surge in cases of the Delta variant, first identified in India, even though nearly 2/3 of all UK adults have now had 2 vaccine jabs. Javid said the Delta strain now accounted for 95% of all positive cases. Some 22,868 new cases were reported on Monday, according to the latest government figures, up from 14,623 on Sunday. On Thursday, the director of the World Health Organization Regional Office for Europe, Dr. Hans Kluge, made an alarming announcement. Let's listen in.
A 10-week decline in number of COVID-19 cases in the 53 countries in the WHO European region has come to an end. Last week, the number of cases rose by 10%, driven by increased mixing, travel, gatherings, and easing of social restrictions.
In his statement, Dr. Kluge has warned of a new wave in the WHO European region unless he says that Europe remains disciplined. He added that the rise of cases in Europe comes in the context of rising cases of the Delta variant, first spotted in India, which the regional doctor said overtakes the Alpha variant very quickly, referring to the variant that first emerged in the UK. The EU's Disease Control Agency, ECDC, has reported that the more contagious Delta variant could account for 90% of new cases in the EU by the end of August. The current vaccines are showing protection against the Delta variant, but with the average vaccine coverage in the European region at only 24% and half of elderly people and 40% of healthcare workers still unprotected. Dr. Kluge says that the vaccine rollout was nowhere near where it needed to be and to offer the necessary protection. It's time for a break now, but please come back for some more ENI UK and Europe edition.
Events happen around us all the time, in our community, in our country, around the world. Events that affect people, move communities, or simply inspire us. Interesting events that people need to know. In these interesting times, we continue to be a competent partner in delivering news about these events. Fast, accurate, balanced, eagle news, because we live in interesting times.
Welcome back to ENI UK and Europe edition. I'm Giancarlo Matera with more interesting stories from the United Kingdom and Europe this week. The Princes William and Harry are to unveil a sculpture of their late mother Diana, Princess of Wales. With us with more details on the story, we're joined by Arabelle Celestino. Hi, Arabelle.
Hi, Giancarlo. And yes, Princes William and Harry set aside their differences on Tuesday to unveil a new statue of their mother, Princess Diana, on what would have been birthday. The brothers photographs of cross likeness in the Clinton Garden of Diana's former London home at Kensington Palace in a stripped-back ceremony to the coronavirus pandemic. Today, on what would have been our mother's 60th birthday, we remember her love, her strength, and character, qualities that made her a force for good around the world, changing countless lives for the better, they said in a statement. Every day, we wish she were still with us, and our hope is that this statue will be seen forever as a symbol of her life and her legacy. The sculptor Ian Rank Broadley also shared his thoughts about the making of the statue and its values. Let's listen in.
I think uppermost in my mind was, in fact, to actually do something for the princes. I mean, you know, for all that the princess was a very public figure and in many respects an icon, but she was somebody's mother. So I paid the greatest heed to both princes and what they had to say. And in many ways, it was a collaborative effort. They made a huge contribution. And in many ways, I could say that the sculpture belongs to them as well. They helped make it.
The rare joint statement was a public show of togetherness after strained ties between the brothers since Harry's wedding to the U.S. former television actress Meghan Markle. William, 39, and Harry, 36, were last seen together at the funeral of their grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II's husband, Prince Philip, after his death in April. Royal commentators have said their reunion to pay tribute to Diana could be a vital first step in healing the rift, which one biographer called the most serious in generations. The brothers, dressed in dark suits, were seen smiling and chatting to guests, including the sculptor Ian Rank Broadley and garden designer Pip Morrison. The garden has been planted with more than 4,000 flowers, including Diana's favorite, forget-me-nots. Over to you, Giancarlo.
Thank you, Arabelle, for that report. Were there others who were attending that ceremony at Kensington Palace?
Well, yes. The pared down ceremony was attended by only a handful of guests, including Diana's brother, Charles Spencer, and her two sisters, Sarah McCorquodale and Jane Fallows. The media was also limited, reportedly at the instance of Harry, who has criticized intrusive reporting and taken legal action against a string of publications. Giancarlo?
Okay, thank you, Arabelle. Also, this garden, will it be where the Princess Diana's statue is located? Will it be open up to the public?
Yes, Giancarlo. So the garden is within London's Kensington's Gardens next to Hyde Park, and the public can visit it for free from Friday in line with Kensington Palace's opening hours. Back to you, Giancarlo.
Thank you so much, Arabelle, for bringing us that interesting report this week.
Thank you so much for having me. Reporting from London, United Kingdom, I am Arabelle Celestino, and we live in interesting times.
Okay, we go to Belgium now, where news of them easing their pandemic-related restrictions. To give us the update, we have with us Maria Dowsin. Hello, Maria.
Hello, Giancarlo. So as of July 1st, there are 1,085,131 cases, whereas 25,173 deaths and 23,926 are active cases in Belgium. And as of June 30, there are 2,342,745 fully vaccinated residents in Belgium and 2,095,960 who have received at least one dose of vaccine against COVID-19. Due to the very fast vaccine drive, Belgium managed to hit below an average of 400 new coronavirus cases and nearly 300 confined hospital patients daily. The country also has been easing up on their COVID-19 restrictions, such as no obligatory face masks in certain areas or cities. Restaurants and cafes are allowed for dine-ins, with the exemption of maximum 8 people in a table. You're also allowed to invite 8 people into your homes and more in the garden or terrace. Sport events, theaters, and concerts allow 2,000 people indoors and 2,500 outdoors. Different organizations are allowed to hold activities for a maximum 100 people with supervision. Religious gatherings are allowed to be held with 200 people indoors and outdoors. Regarding the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, it has been recently allowed to be jabbed on all adults, including those under the age of 41 years old, with the condition that a person gives their consent. This can be indicated as they make their appointment online or on the day they get vaccinated. Although this vaccine was suspended late May due to complications, the European Medicine Agency says that the benefits still outweighs the risks. Back to you, Giancarlo.
Thank you so much, Maria. This summer, a lot of people are expected to be traveling around. What are the restrictions for those who want to come in and out of Belgium?
In general, people who are fully vaccinated can travel freely within Europe as long as they have the EU digital COVID certificate. However, those who live in Flanders are allowed to travel specifically to Spain without any PCR tests and a 10-day quarantine due to the Flemish region turning into a green zone on the European Corona map. Euro 2020 also became one of the reasons there's a lot of travelers in and out of the country. The government strictly mentioned that anyone coming from Portugal need to undergo mandatory testing, and non-vaccinated people need to abide by the 10-day quarantine. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Maria, for bringing us these updates from Belgium.
Thank you for having me. Reporting from Belgium, I'm Maria Dowsin. We live in interesting times.
Okay, it's time for another break now, but please come back for some more ENI UK and Europe edition.
Hey there, Arnie Aquino here at Hatley Castle, one of the filming locations for the X-Men series. Don't forget to tune in to Digital Nest only on Net25.
Welcome back to ENI UK and Europe edition. I'm Giancarlo Matera with more interesting stories from around Europe this week. Spain has experienced extreme weather conditions in June, and to give us the details, here's a report from Catherine Arceo. Let's take a look.
The month of June began with very summer temperatures that exceed 30 degrees in different places of Spain. A few days after the beginning of summer, there is an instability in the weather that causes storms, rain, and hail in several parts of the country. After heavy rainfall, this caused floods in the streets, carriages, and several underground transportation. Reporting from Madrid, Spain, I am Catherine Arteo for Eagle News.
In today's health section, Aron Ortiz, a professional coach specializing in fat loss and fitness, takes us on a journey to gain self-confidence. This week's episode, he challenged us with a 10-minute full body workout. Let's watch.
What is going on? Aron here. Today we're going to be doing a 10-minute full body workout. So I'll be showing you 5 exercises that you can do from home without any equipment that will help you to lose body fat effectively. If you haven't done any workout for quite a while, feel free to have a break at any times, right? What we're going to be doing is we're going to do a quick warm-up and I'm going to go straight for the 5 exercises, right? Take notes on these, put this in your phone or put this on your book and stuff like that so that you can write this down and then have this a go today. Okay, so we're gonna start first with a warm-up. So we're gonna start first with our high knees, one at a time, and we're gonna do this for 1 minute. Okay, after that we're gonna go straight for our mobilities and we're gonna loosen up our shoulders, right? So the warm-up is all about just getting that blood flowing around your body. Okay, so on here your shoulders forward, on here 10 times forward, and then we're gonna have 10 times backward as well. Once we've done that, we're gonna get your arms in and out, and arms up and downs, and that's all it is for warm-up. After we've done that, we're gonna go straight for our 5 exercises. So your warm-up should be about 2 to 3 minutes in there, just to get you ready for your 5 exercises. So once you've done that, we're gonna go straight to the full body workout. So we're gonna do 5 exercises for 10 minutes and we're going to do as many rounds as we can and just give your best on how many rounds you can do. Okay, so the aim is to be able to do 10 reps on each exercise, right? And you're going to do as many rounds as you can do. So 5 exercises, 10 repetitions on each. 50 reps is equal to 1 round, right? So if you can do 1 round only in the next 10 minutes, that's fine. If you can do 2, 3 or 4, that's totally up to you. The most important thing is what you can do, okay? And again, as I mentioned, have a rest at any times you want, okay? So we're gonna start off first with your press-ups, your back's nice and straight, hands underneath your shoulders, squeeze your glutes and squeezing your core. Breathing in on the way down and breathing in on the way up. Modified version is going on your knees to make that a little bit easier for you. And that's what you need to do, right? So next one, we got your renegades. This is going to be working your core, your back as well, very similar to press-ups. So what you want to do is pulling your elbows up instead of actually pushing on the way down when it compares to press-ups, right? So on here, pull your elbows up. Easier version, similar as well with press-ups. You have to just go on your knees and that's all you need to do. Okay, so you're doing 10 reps all together. So 5 reps on each arms in here. And we got your third exercise, we got your bodyweight squats. The feet slightly wider than shoulder width. Core nice and tight, breathing in on the way down and breathing in on the way up. Easier version will be finding a box or a chair to make that as a guide to know how far you can go when you're doing your squats. We got your fourth exercise, nice and straightforward. We got your star jumps. Easier version will be just literally legs in and out in here. So again, that's totally up to you, whichever you feel like you can do. Last one will be high knees, so similar to what we did earlier on with our warm-up. So all you have to do is high knees in there. Easier version will be 1 knee at a time. Okay. As I mentioned earlier on, everyone's going to be different, so do what you can do. Do as many as you can within 10 minutes. Now, I want to know who's actually going to do this, so tag me on my Instagram and tag this on your story once you've done it, whether that's on your watch or just a selfie of you, and then just tag me on my Instagram so I know who actually have done it. And if you got any questions, ask me on my Instagram as well so I can answer any of your questions or struggles that you have. Apart from that, keep doing what you're doing and I'll see you soon.
England are dreaming of Euro 2020 glory after finally slaying old nemesis Germany in the knockout stages of a major tournament, and now have a favourable draw against the Ukraine in the quarter-finals. A 2-0 win over the four-time world champions at a raucous Wembley Stadium, thanks to late goals from Raheem Sterling and Harry Kane. England are still waiting for their first major tournament win since 1966, when they beat Germany in the World Cup finals, but are at least now consistent contenders. The Three Lions reached the semi-finals of the 2018 World Cup in Russia and the inaugural Nations League, and only a major shock in Rome on Saturday will deny them a last four spot once again. Blessed with England's best array of attacking talent in decades, Southgate has instead focused on building solid foundations. The results are clear to see after they started the tournament with 4 clean sheets for the first time since 1966. If England see off the limited Ukrainian side, hampered by injury on Saturday, they will be back at Wembley for the semi-finals, with the permitted capacity extended to 60,000 fans as coronavirus restrictions are eased. A quarter of a century after it was supposed to, football may be finally coming home for Southgate and for England. In other sports news, the world's most prestigious tennis tournament is back after a year's absence due to the coronavirus pandemic. The 128th championship began this week with half-full crowds as restrictions began to be relaxed in London. This year's tournament will be without the great Rafael Nadal, as he has decided to take time off during Wimbledon and the upcoming Olympics to rest and recover in order to prolong his career. Last year's winner and world number one, Novak Djokovic, is looking to win his third consecutive Wimbledon title, a feat only achieved by Roger Federer, Pete Sampras, and Bjorn Borg. Novak, on 19 Grand Slam titles, needs one more to equal Federer and Nadal on 20. And if he adds the Olympic title and US Open, he would complete a golden slam of all major tournament wins in the same calendar year. Other big names in the men's draw also will join Novak in the third round, including former champions Andy Murray and Roger Federer. Federer, who defeated Richard Gasquet to book his place in the third round, currently holds the record of 8 Wimbledon titles and would love to add another to his total. UK's Andy Murray, the man who ended Great Britain's 77-year wait for a champion, has returned to Wimbledon for the first time since 2017 after multiple surgeries and months of physiotherapy. Although nowhere near the form he was when he was world number one, Murray's love for the game has brought him back, and he has consistently stated in various interviews that he would want to continue to play for as long as he can. Although, in the women's tournament, former 6-time Wimbledon champion Serena Williams has had to pull out of the tournament due to injury that she suffered in her first round match. We will continue to keep you up to date in the coming weeks as we enter a very exciting summer of sports. We end this week's show once again with our view from our window, and today we take a close look at the Greek Parliament. This is located near the center of Athens, and the building was built between 1836 and 1842 and was designed by the German architect Friedrich von Gartner. It served as the royal palace for the Greek kings. When the monarchy was abolished in 1924, after a referendum, the building was used as a museum and a hospital. In November 1929, the government decided to move the Parliament House to this building. Many people enjoyed witnessing the changing of the guards every hour of the day. A ceremonial change of the guards takes place on Sundays at 11 a.m. This view is courtesy of Rowena Castro from our Greece Bureau. Thank you so much for this wonderful view. And that's it for today's program. We hope you stay safe and keep positive as we bring you more stories next week from around the United Kingdom and Europe. I'm Jakar Matera, and we live in interesting times.
Hangad mo ba sa buhay ay matamis na tagumpay? Pwede mong subukan ang bee farming.
Hindi lang sa Pilipinas, sa ibang parte ng Asia hanggang northern part ng Australia, merong stingless bees.
Isa din yan, titingnan mo kung wala bang matatamaan na mga bahay, walang mapapasukan na bintana ng kapitbahay.
Busy as a bee ang mangyayari dahil ang puhunan din sipag at diskarte.
Ito naman ho ay napakasimple din gawin. No? Ito ay mula sa beeswax. Dito, magde-demo naman tayo ng kung paano hinaharvest yung honey ng Apis mellifera.
Nakuha ko yung mga kailangan ko doon dito sa pupuyog.
Kung saan niya kayong bibigyan ng pagkakitaan?
Kikita ka pag naalagaan mo sila ng tama.
Ako po si Robin Padilla at ito po ang ulan.